Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. It's the year 1871 in the famous old mining camp of Virginia City, Nevada. And a wedding celebration is in progress as our story opens. I call it Sixth Sense. The pleasure?
No, thank you.
Well, perhaps I should introduce myself. I'm Steve McIntyre, the new superintendent at the Yellow Jacket Mine. That's a mighty tantalizing tune they're playing.
I don't dance.
I don't believe it. Please.
And I'm blind.
Well, forgive me. I had no idea. Suppose we sit it out then and just talk.
I don't feel like talking.
Hopson, who is that blind girl?
Susie Jarvis.
How long has she been that way?
Well, it happened about 3 years ago. There was an accident. Her folks were killed in it. I guess she's wished many times that she'd been killed in it, too.
Well, how does she get along?
The town looks after her. Mrs. Prentice gives her a room, and she gets her meals at Mrs. Wimmer's boarding house.
I think I'll start getting my meals at Mrs. Wimmer's, too. Mind if I sit here? I'm a new boarder.
You don't have to, Mr. McIntyre.
So you recognize my voice.
Here, my dear, I buttered a biscuit for you. And here's some nice stew. I'll get some vegetables for you in just a minute.
Thank you.
Mrs. Wimmer's a good friend, isn't she? At least her intentions are kind.
What do you mean by that?
She treats you as if you were helpless.
I am.
Are you?
You know I am. And you needn't look at me like that.
You're really amazing. Tell me.
I don't want to talk about myself.
And yet that's all you think about. You spend your life, as far as I can see, just sitting back.
What else can I do?
Well, you could at least be friendly. Give a fellow a smile.
When he goes out of his way deliberately to insult me, remind me I'm handicapped.
Now, wait a minute. You're not going to walk out on me again.
I don't want any dinner.
After someone has cooked it for you, served it to you, paid for it? Now, you eat your stew like a good girl before it gets cold. Come in. Susie.
Are you alone, Mr. McIntyre?
Yep, all alone. Come in.
Thank you. I've been thinking about what you said at supper last night.
Well, I'm afraid I was a bit rough.
Oh, no. It was just what I needed to jolt me. Oh, Mr. McIntyre, I would like to be able to do something. To make myself useful, but what can I do without eyes?
Well, how about learning telegraphy?
Telegraphy?
It calls for keen ears. You certainly have those. The way you can recognize voices and sounds, and sensitive fingers. You have something else, too, that's denied to those of us who can see. It's a sort of a sixth sense, you might call it.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Well, the way you came into this room just now.
Yes?
Now, you sensed that chair was in your path before you even touched it.
Oh, yes.
You sense people's moods before they even speak. There's no reason in the world why you shouldn't make a first-class operator.
Would anybody hire a blind one?
You prove you've got the stuff, and there'll be a job for you.
Stuff. All right, I'll give it a try.
H, dot, 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 dot.
H, dot, 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 dot.
I, dot, dot.
I, dot, dot.
Good, now we'll go over it again. F, dot, dash, dot.
F, dot, dash, dot. C, dot, dot, dash. No. C, dot, dot, dot. D, dash, dot, dot.
What are you doing, Susie?
Learning Morse code.
The Morse code?
It's Steve's idea. Mr. McIntyre's.
Well, and not a bad one. Well, go ahead. Don't let me interrupt.
J, dash, dot, dash, dot. K, dash, dash, dot.
No. K is dash, dot, dash.
K, dash, dot, dash. Yeah. Now L is dash, dash.
No. L is a long dash.
Steve, I just can't do it. I tried.
What you need is a day off. Say, how about taking a drive with me up to the divide? Oh, I have to go up there anyway to look over some ground.
Oh, Steve, I'd love it. This used to be my favorite view.
It's marked by telegraph poles now and wires shining in the sun. Why, you'll be sending messages over those wires before long, Susie. Down to Carson Valley and over the Sierras to Placerville and Sacramento.
I wonder.
Oh, I'm sure of it. And the day you get that job, we're going to celebrate. We'll have dinner together at the International Hotel. Oysters and champagne. Is it a date?
It's a date.
Mr. Lynn.
Hello, Steve.
Welcome back, Steve.
My daughter, Mary. Steve McIntyre, my dear, superintendent of our mine.
A great pleasure.
How do you do? So, this is Virginia City.
Is your first visit here?
Yes.
Mary's just out of finishing school back east.
Well, I'm afraid you'll find this quite a contrast.
I hope so.
A man for breakfast every morning. That's the rule out here, huh, Steve?
Well, not since the vigilantes got busy.
Oh, dear. What about dinner then? Tonight?
I was just about to invite him myself, Mary.
I'd be honored, sir.
Good. Now, let's get out to the mine as soon as we can. There's a lot of work to be done. Send our things to the hotel, please.
My, you sure look pretty, Miss Susie. Where are you going?
Out with Steve to celebrate my new job. Oh, here he comes now.
How do you know it's him?
By his footsteps.
Hello, Susie.
Hello, Steve. Did you get my message at the office?
No, I've been at the mine all day. What was it?
Well, I got a job, Steve.
Susie, no. Tell me.
Well, it isn't here in Virginia City, but at least it's nearby, just down the mountain in Dayton. Steve, I took a test.
And passed with flying colors.
Oh, Susie, I'm so proud of you. I knew you could do it.
She's wonderful. But don't you go getting her all mussed up just before you take her out to dinner.
Dinner? Oh, our celebration. Susie, I'm terribly sorry, but I've already made other plans for tonight. I came here to tell Mrs. Wilmer I couldn't stay for dinner. If I'd only gotten your message sooner.
Oh, that's all right.
I'd break this other engagement, but it's with my boss, Mr. Lent.
Well, I understand, Steve.
We'll do it tomorrow night. How's that?
I'm afraid that'll be too late. I'm leaving on the morning stage.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, I'll be at the stage to see you off. Good night.
Good night.
There's a nice German restaurant down the street, Miss Susie. Not as classy as the International Hotel, but the food's good. And if you can stand the company of a Wells Fargo detective...
Thank you, Mr. Hopson, but I do feel rather tired. I think I'll just stay in tonight.
Goodbye, Susie, and good luck. I'll be thinking of you.
Thank you, Steve, for everything.
All aboard.
Good morning.
Why, hello, Mary.
Am I in time to mail a letter?
Sure, Miss Lent. I'll give it to the driver.
Thank you. I couldn't wait, Steve, to write back east and tell about my first dinner in Virginia City. Champagne and oysters. They'll never believe it.
Throw down that strong box.
It's a holdup.
All right, come on out of there. Come on, shake a leg, sister. We ain't got all day. Where you carrying the rest of your money?
That's all I've got.
Now look, sister. You see this gun?
No, I don't.
Now don't get funny.
She's telling the truth. She's blind.
Blind. All right, go on, get back inside. Here. Here's your purse. All right, get going. Yeah.
Stage held up near Black Mountain by 2 road agents. Took strongbox. Susie Jarvis.
They didn't get much of a haul, that's one good thing.
But when we ship out the spring cleanup...
That's still some weeks off, Steve. And they'll have no way of knowing which stage it goes out on.
No. I'm glad at least nobody got hurt.
Hello, you two.
Oh, Mary.
Are you ready? Steve's taking me to dinner in the theater tonight.
Then I won't keep him any longer. You go right along.
Her first official message.
Good night, Father.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good morning.
Good morning. May I help you, sir?
Is there a message here for Clanton?
Clanton. James Clanton?
That's right.
Yes, it came in about a half hour ago.
Good.
How do you like this weather we're having?
Doesn't bother me. I can take it or leave it. Come on, hurry up, sister.
Here it is.
Good.
Any answer?
Nope, no answer. Where you carrying the rest of your money?
That's all I've got.
Now look, sister. You see this gun?
No, I don't.
Now don't get funny.
She's telling the truth. She's blind.
Blind. All right, go on, get back inside.
For a big gold shipment from mine.
How does she know?
I couldn't say. Well, we're taking no chances. I'm putting 2 armed riders with that stage, and I'll be inside with Hopson.
You?
If they take this gold, they're going to have to take me with it.
Wait. Outriders. They wouldn't have a chance.
Oh, thank goodness you got through all right. I was so afraid you might not get my message in time.
How did you know?
A wire that came in. Here's a copy of it.
Listen to this, Dave. Your spring jacket cleaned and packed out today. Hope you get it safely, Mother.
I thought at the time it was a strange message, and then after I realized who Clanton was, I began to figure it out. It could only mean the spring cleanup from the Yellow Jacket mine.
Oh, bless you, Susie. I always said you had a sixth sense.
She should be the detective. Do you think you'd recognize this fellow again?
Oh, anywhere. There's no mistaking his voice.
Well, we'll let you prove it. Now, his partner hangs out in Virginia City, that's certain, and tips him off. Now, Clanton will be coming around here again, Susie, for more messages from him.
Uh-huh.
And when he does...
I'll be right on hand, waiting for him. Aren't you working pretty late this evening, Miss Susie?
Mr. Hopson. Every time that door opens, I hold my breath. There was a fellow who came in here yesterday that walked exactly like that outlaw.
You know, I never get over marveling at you.
The change in me?
In just a few weeks, you've become a seasoned telegraph operator.
Steve deserves all the credit. Oh, when I think of what I was like when he first met me. But he started me out on a whole new life. He gave me hope and courage and...
Hello.
Steve!
So you haven't forgotten me.
Of course not. We were just talking about you. Or there's somebody with you. A lady.
What did I tell you? And you never said a word.
But her skirt rustled. I'm Mary Lynn. Steve's told me so much about you. How do you do?
You look real elegant in your ball gown, Miss Mary.
Oh, yes, it's beautiful.
Don't often see soup and fish around here, Steve. Where to?
Oh, we're down here for Senator Tyler's shindig.
We're so thrilled, aren't we, Steve? I understand it's going to be a wonderful affair.
Any news of our man?
Not yet.
Yeah, he may have smelled a rat.
He'll turn up sooner or later.
Just thought I'd drop in and ask.
Goodbye, Miss Jarvis. I'm so glad to have met you. It was nice to have seen you.
Bye, Susie.
See you later, Dave.
They'll make a handsome couple at the ball. Funny. First time Steve ever spoke to me was to ask me to dance. I refused. I wish now I'd said yes.
Howdy.
Good afternoon.
I'm expecting a telegram.
What is the name, please?
Tuttle. Frank Tuttle.
I think there is a wire that came in this morning, Mr. Tuttle. As I remember, it was from Virginia City. Yes, I'm sure of it. Now, where did I put it?
I hope you haven't mislaid it.
Here it is.
Why, this is blank.
But this ain't. You're under arrest.
What for?
Holding up and robbing the Virginia City stage on November 16th last.
I never held up a stagecoach in my life. You made a mistake.
There's no mistake. I was a passenger on the stage that trip, and I recognize you.
Recognize? You mean you take the word of a blind girl?
When it's Miss Susie's, I sure would, mister.
There is no doubt but what folks without sight develop keener ears than the rest of us. But to convict a prisoner simply on the strength of this young lady's recognizing his voice...
It is contrary to all the laws of justice.
I'm inclined to agree.
Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Mr. McIntyre. Mr. Hopson, but the evidence is not sufficient. I will have to release Mr. Clanton.
Here, get these things off of me.
Just a moment, Your Honor. There's something else that I just remembered. At the time of the holdup, when the bandit handed me back my purse, my fingers touched his wrist. There was a jagged scar on it. Well, if you don't believe me, look for yourself.
Lock him up.
Good for you, Susie.
It just came in, Steve. So before you go, let's have the presentation.
You do the honors, Dave.
Miss Susie, on behalf of Wells Fargo, here's a check for $5,000.
What?
The reward that was offered for the arrest of Clanton.
$5,000?
And you earned every penny of it.
You did indeed. Oh, Susie, I'm so happy for you.
All aboard, Virginia City.
Oh, Steve, we better go. Goodbye, Susie. Goodbye, Mary.
Goodbye, Susie.
Steve, I just wanted to thank you again for everything you've ever done for me. How can I ever repay you?
By wishing me luck.
Oh, I do, Steve. With all my heart. She's the perfect wife for you.
God bless you, Susie.
I got no further excuse to hang around here. A nice nest egg that'll make for you, that $5,000. You put it in the bank now and you'll never have to worry.
But I'm not going to keep it for myself. I'm going to use it to help other blind folks learn what I've learned. Oh, it doesn't have to be telegraphy, but anything that will help them to be useful and happy. Bring them out of the darkness.
Well, that makes it a lot easier for me. I'd hate to have anybody think I was going to marry you for your money.
Mr. Hopson.
I love you, Susie. How could I help it? All the weeks I've been here, looking at you, talking with you.
But
I'd be the proudest man in the world if you'd be my wife. I'm not much to look at, just an old flatfoot.
But you're good, Dave. And kind. I'd be proud to be your wife.
Susie.
And so our story ends the same way it began, with wedding bells ringing in the old mining camp of Virginia City.